everybody, just a reminder, if you've got those deals where you might have a recent credit event, bankruptcy, foreclosure, something like that, your score's under a 680 and you're just not fitting into FHA or VA guidelines, Angel Oak has a product that's probably going to help you with not all that much money down. There's a webinar on the 26th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. You should register for it. Click this banner you see right here over on your right, or if you're on Facebook, the link up above, and we'll see you there.
Or conventional guidelines either, if they don't fit into that.
Yeah, non-QM. You got it.
So some of you have been asking, and so just want to say that we live up in Northern California where these fires are going on right now. And they're not here, okay? They're over in Napa, which is a couple of hills away from us. And so, and they go up to Santa Rosa, which is going to be north of Napa. Now, I had a chance to speak with Elise Grove. She's one of our good friends, and she lives in Santa Rosa, which looks like Hiroshima the day after we dropped the bomb. It's terrible. And all of her real estate agents, she goes, they all lost their houses. There's brutal. A branch of Caliber. They lost a branch up there.
Wow.
Or at least she believes that, and it's bad. But anyways, we've been doing pretty good up until this point, but it seems like the winds have changed. Literally the winds, like they started blowing again. And they are actually heading down our way. So they are closing the schools down where we live in Vacaville in Solano County. So we're all right now. But by the time you see this, it might be a different story entirely. But for those of you who've reached out, that's just super awesome. And we'll just keep you posted.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we've talked about this before, the CFPB,
yes.
Right? A lot. But they collect a lot of data.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why wouldn't somebody hack them?
Sure, that's what we were saying.
Now, there's no report anywhere of the CFPB being hacked, okay? But I want to share something with you guys today, okay? So, check this out. Here's a story back in 2014 about when the CFPB was busted for discrimination. I know, it's kind of ironic, but that's not the point. Check out what the article says.
New evidence shows, and the CFPB has conceded, that white male employees were more likely to receive positive performance ratings than minority women and older employees. The CFPB was aware of these problems as early as September 30th, 2013, when
It's
Delotti consulting report, showed there were discrepancies in employee evaluations.
All right. Delotti. Think Delotti. Who the hell is Delotti?
Don't know.
Right? Well, Delotti Consulting, that's what I want you to zero in on. The reason, in an article just yesterday, Fannie and Freddie said that they were not compromised by the Delotti hack. Delotti just got hacked. Meaning, if you have a loan that went through Fannie or Freddie, meaning if you've ever had a mortgage, right? Fannie and Freddie are saying, you have not been hacked. Even though an investigation from The Guardian said this.
Clients who had materials exposed in the hack include the U.S. Departments of State, Energy, Homeland Security and Defense, the U.S. Postal Service, U.S. mortgage financing giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, World Soccer governing body FIFA, 4 banks, 3 airlines, 2 car makers, energy firms, and large pharmaceutical companies.
Deloitte does a lot of work with a lot of people.
They sure do.
But you've gotten there, The Guardian, they did a study on this. It turns out there are 350 companies that were hacked. So it got us thinking over here, what other government agencies may have used Delotti and could have been compromised or, hacked? Well, guess who?
Yep, the CFPB, that agency that's collecting all that data on you through your spending habits, your credit reports, your accounts, your mortgage, your credit cards, your installment loans, your everything. The question is, how much is Delotti involved with the CFPB, and why weren't they just mentioned in the Delotti hack?
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson.
Well, the CFPB is working with Delotti enough for Delotti to make this beautiful, wonderful page on its homepage about the CFPB.
And then there's this little article on the Wall Street Journal where Delotti employees, not CFPB employees, Delotti employees are speaking of and or about CFPB enforcement exams, data mining, compliance, and the complaint database.
It's like the CFPB is being subcontracted out to Delotti. They're all up in their mess. So, if Delotti just had a massive hack and Fannie and Freddie were brought up as one of the 350 compromised companies or agencies, I'm curious, was the CFPB also hacked? It sure seems like it might have been, and it seems like a reasonable question, and considering it's all of our information, the consumer's information that's at stake, and the Bureau exists to protect me, the consumer, I'd like to hear from the Bureau if I've been compromised by them via one of their contractors, Dilotti. And don't you think we deserve to know this?
I do. When did this Dilotti thing go down?
The Dilotti thing, see, it's not even brought up within the mortgage industry. There was a little article about how Fannie and Freddie may have been part of this hack, and then Fannie and Freddie said no. And I started looking, well, who the hell is Dilotti?
Yeah.
Well, they're one of these massive consulting firms.
Got
They're
it.
all over the world. They've got contracts with absolutely everyone. So I thought, well, I wonder, is there a connection to the CFPB? Because before a congressional panel, Richard Cordroy was talking about their security that they have in place right now, and he was at a loss. I don't know. We got something. You know, it's kind of like that.
I think we have a firewall.
Yeah, something. It really was something like that. And it didn't really sit well with me. So we know they're collecting all this data. They seem like they'd have a big bullseye. And it appears right now that they're probably a part of this. Either way, I'd like to hear one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. Let us know your thoughts on today's show. Interesting stuff, Dilotti. Leave us your comments down below. Forward and share the video with whoever you think could use it. And subscribe for free in your upper right-hand corner on the website or right up above on Facebook. Dilotti.
Lottie-dottie, the CFPB and Dilotti.
All together. Hacks get in there. Things come out.
And by the way, even if they haven't been hacked yet, they're going to get hacked. There's just like they have too much
It is a
information
big
on
target,
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.
I'm going hunting. I'm going after a buffalo, not a squirrel.